Nothing says mental weakness than being easily triggered. Nowadays, being triggered is a sign, is something that people are proud for. They flaunt their mental weakness. They flaunt their vulnerability, not as a way to strengthen others, but as a way to use it to manipulate people. What they don't notice is that they're actually becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their brittleness translates over to other areas of their life, and it has a lot of unintended consequences. People today are easily triggered, and those are the ones that are the easiest to manipulate. If I know what triggers you, there's a part of my nature that I love hitting what triggers people, because I just like to do things like that. I like to find what's holy, and I like to mess with it. So today we're going to be talking about how being unbothered triggers people and how to be unbothered. We're going to talk about how being unbothered is used to manipulate you, and how people can use that to manipulate in the health section of the channel of the video today. And then we're going to teach you guys how to be unbothered and use being unbothered in a way that doesn't get you sent straight to hell in the heaven section over there. So today we're going to be applying these strategies so that you can prevent manipulation. And if you're evil and going straight to hell, you can use it for your evil intentions, but also you can use it to defend yourself and strengthen the connection that you have. Make people fall in love with you more through your unbotheredness, all right? So with that being said, let's begin. And if you guys want to learn how to be unbothered, this is something that doesn't come natural. It doesn't come natural to people. If it comes natural to you, then you might be a psychopath, right? If you guys want to learn how to do that, you guys should book a one-on-one phone call with me today, where you guys will be able to talk to me confidentially and privately with me today, and there you'll be able to book a phone call with me. And if you guys don't know how to be unbothered, honestly, just go to this website. Dharma.org, I think that's how it's spelled. It's a meditation retreat, and it'll teach you guys how to be unbothered like the Buddha. All right, so let's begin. The first things first, okay? People who are toxic depend on your reactivity. They depend on you being bothered. Bullies depend on your reaction because it tells them how much their strategies are working. Nothing is more annoying than somebody who doesn't react to our taunts. So the thing about people who are toxic, whenever they relate to you by triggering you or relate to you by having conflict, because, you know, like, I've lived in the Bronx, I know what that is. People have relationships based on conflict, and the only time they love each other is when they reconciliate. That's the only way they feel love. So what's happening here, they're not connecting with your soul, but they're not connecting with your silent presence. Right? They rather connect, Jesus Christ, people. They rather connect with your traumas. They connect with your trauma rather than with your silent presence. Meaning, when things are good, they're gonna be bored. They only can feel a desire to love you, to hug you, to show intimacy, only when it comes after a bad moment, after a conflict. And that's not healthy. And you can't be with people like that, because what you're doing right there is trauma bonding, right? The next thing is that they sense your unbotheredness as you being superior to them. They want to trigger you. They want you to stoop down at their level. And that's because they just feel insecure. They know they're crazy. And in order to feel normal, they need to make you crazy. There's no compromising with these psychopaths. There's no escaping this dynamic. You can't deal with these people. You gotta leave. Because if you stare at the abyss long enough, the abyss will stare back at you. You will start to see yourself in the people that you hate, right? So your lack of fear makes them feel inferior. Like I said, some people are predators. And in order for food to taste good, their umami is fear. Toxic people's umami flavor is fear. They're like, tastes like je ne sais quoi, tastes like fear. And that fear is fear of walking away. they create a threatening presence. So they need fear in order to connect with you. Why? Because that's how they're able to connect. They don't want to connect with someone who looks at them straight in the eye. They want an imbalanced power dynamic where they instill fear in you by them being super reactive, by them being super dramatic, and by you not wanting confrontation, by you avoiding the inevitable. And unfortunately, a lot of people play up on that. That the only thing that they can smell is fear. And what you want to be able to do is that what they want you to be able to do is that by them trying to trigger you, they want to compel you to make mistakes. But what happens is that if you don't react to them, which I'll teach you how, it actually compels them to make mistakes. It makes them feel inferior. It makes them sense your superiority because you just don't give a fuck. You don't care about their silly games, right? And the next thing is that you expose mentality of weak-minded people. So you being unbothered, you'll notice that your lack of reaction causes them to overreact. Well, what happens is that the mind is weaker than your emotions, right? And when they sense that you're not reacting to them, it's almost like they sense that they're not being seen. It's how they're able to be recognized. It's how they feel a sense of belonging by drama. And you removing their reaction, it exposes to you that they're really weak. And a lot of the times they look really pathetic because they're trying to get a reaction out of you, right? And above all, it proves your point. Sometimes not saying anything, sometimes not reacting proves your point. Because you see, even though you might be wrong, because of their overreaction, you're completely right. Where they're trying to hurt you, and you're like, hey, back down. I've had people that, nah, that's actually really toxic. I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, it proves your point because of just how calm you come across. People who look relaxed and unbothered always look like they were right all along. People who look like they're bothered, triggered, they always look like they're wrong. When you watch Japanese movies, you'll notice that the people who are fighting are the one that's gonna lose usually shows more reaction, shows more emotion. And the one that's gonna win looks like that they're just fighting, but like they're calm, right? And you know they're gonna lose once they start putting effort. That's a funny thing, right? Let me give you guys an example of this, right? An example of this is the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King told the black people and white people, to be honest with you, to not react to their violence with violence. Show that you're unbothered. And Martin Luther King told them to let this is crazy. Martin Luther King was a wild boy. He told them to bring kids to the march because he knew there were gonna be dogs there. And Martin Luther King became Hitler at that moment because he was like, okay, let the kids get bitten by the dog. Let's hope they get bitten. So that there's cameras and people could see that. And just like Vietnam, where Vietnamese people they wanted to show that the America, that the war really was not, like nothing was happening, right? They did that to get the people's support. Well, Martin Luther King did a very similar thing. He just told them, don't react. Look unbothered. Let them hurt you. Let them hit you. Just make sure that the cameras are rolling. Yo, Martin Luther King, man, this guy he knew social media. And the dogs came and started biting people. And Martin was like, okay, get that shot. Get a little close up. Martin was like, get a little close up. Make sure you get that frame, right? Get that angry dog, right? And it actually worked. America started siding with the people of the civil rights movement because they were like, yo, they're being attacked and they're not doing anything in return. That's wrong. And so they were able to prove their point by just shutting the fuck up. And and it's not just shutting up. It's not really about shutting up. It's more about an internal relaxation, a presence of mind, right? Now, speaking of Martin Luther King, let's talk about the heaven things because, it's burning up in here right now. If you guys are going to learn this, there's a warning. No one can teach you this. No one can teach you this. Nobody's born with this. Now, some people are born with more or less temperament than other people. But this is something that you have to learn on your own. This is something that you have to practice on your own, right? And the thing is that if you're gonna use this in a positive way, right? So being unbothered, whenever you guys are having a conflict, they rely on your reaction to solve conflict. Meaning, if you overreact to somebody confronting you, it's really gonna hurt the relationship less, more than help it, right? They rely on your reaction in order for them to also feel calm, in order for them to also feel loved and appreciated, right? People can feel themselves loved by you just being calm, by you being present in the moment, right? In meditation, they call that having presence. And presence is whenever you meditate long enough and you calm your mind, it has an infectious effect on people. Your calmness, people rely on your calmness for them to feel calm themselves. And sometimes the more you try to calm people, the more you try to make people feel relaxed with your words, the less it works. What you want to be able to do is be an ecosystem of positive emotions. Developing your unbotheredness through meditation will cause people to feel a transmutation of calmness and peace that will make being with you much more enjoyable. Like there's just some people who emanate relaxation, who have a calming vibe that we just feel more relaxed around them. And whenever things go wrong, we just gravitate towards them because we just feel like a comfort emanating from them. I've met people like that just them being there, you could be having the worst day, and them being there makes you feel relaxed. And a lot of the times that's actually really addictive. And that's why some people fall in love with each other, right? The next thing is that your unbotheredness raises your value. Nothing makes a man lose respect for another woman. Nothing makes a woman lose respect for a man than a man who's easily triggered, than a man who's easily bothered, right? This makes you look like a respectable person. This increases respect. And remember, love isn't respect, right? Because you could love someone and not respect them, right? But in order for the love that you have to be healthy and to be symbiotic, and for it to not rot over the years, it's for you guys to have mutual respect. And you can't respect someone who's easily triggered. Like, you're gonna secretly hate them over time. Your kids are gonna hate them, your family is gonna hate them, and they're just not good people to be around, right? The next thing is that being unbothered is a sign that you know what you want. The only reason why most people feel unbothered in the face of chaos is because they have other plans. They have alternatives. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm willing to walk away. I know how to be happy on my own. It reduces the panicking sensation that you feel at the thought of losing them, but because you don't know what else to do without them, you panic and start acting needy and creepy. What this does is that and when I mean unbothered, I don't mean like not just during moments of chaos. I mean more importantly during moments of peace. You communicate to people that you have a very leveled head, that you could do without them, that you're able to recover, that you enjoy life. And so because of that, I don't completely depend on you for happiness because I have other sources of happiness. But when you're easily triggered, super needy and creepy, well, you communicate the opposite, that this is your only option. And don't get me wrong, it's very important to, it's good to be monogamous, but that to let them know that you could walk away as well, right? It goes back to the respect. People respect people with options, right? The next thing, which is kind of similar, is that they know that you can handle pain. Nothing's worse than knowing that the person that you love can cry their way out of love. It still hurts, but they're still willing to do that. And people who are manipulative, you know what happens? You know what's funny is that Sometimes people won't leave you because they feel guilty. They feel like you're gonna suffer too much. And sometimes people stay out of pity, right? And even though they stay, the staying out of pity is a sign that they don't respect you. And even though they love you, they look down upon you. Like, they're like, oh man, like if I break up with them, they're gonna be a fucking mess. And sometimes people actually stay because of that. And in fact, sometimes the other person does it as a way to manipulate you from leaving, right? And the next thing is that it makes confrontation easier. Meaning, when they know that you guys have a conflict and that you're always unbothered, meaning you could come to me about an issue that I'm doing and I'm not gonna mind because I don't take things personal. I've known people that I know that if I bring up something that they did wrong, that they're gonna get pissed off, that they're gonna get defensive, that they're gonna try to change the topic, and that makes confronting people a little bit more difficult. Me personally, I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. But this makes relating and dealing with your incompatibilities a little bit difficult. Because if they're the type of person that really gets mad when you just bring something up, then you might hesitate bringing it up. And if you're that person too, they might hesitate bringing it up. So what happens is that it builds resentment over the years, over the months, weeks, and years. And a relationship that could have been fixed, that could have been long-term, dies prematurely because you guys just don't know how to confront each other without being bothered, without being triggered, without attacking the other person, right? When you confront, the next thing is that you have a warm start. Like, you're relaxed. You're not on Bronx mode. You're chilled, right? You have a level head. I've met a lot of people that when they confront, it's like you can sense that they're attacking you. You can sense that it comes from a place of like just anger and bitterness, or they're trying to prove a point. You know, like some people confront with ego. By you being unbothered, by you not taking things personal, it causes you to have this aura where if you confront people, you do it with love, right? You're not trying to prove a point. And I'll be honest with you, the next point is my most favorite one, is that you accept their flaws. And this means that maybe they snore a lot. Nah, you're unbothered, it's no big deal. Maybe they need constant validation. You know, you love them enough to do that. Maybe they're the type of person that likes their food cooked this way, right? And you're unbothered with it. You don't try to change them. You guys try to adjust with each other, right? You don't try to change their flaws. You try to see how can we work around it. Maybe they're the type of person that doesn't like to clean dishes. So maybe you guys then say, okay, right, okay, I'll clean the dishes and you clean this. As opposed to some relationships, they have a problem with everything. Everything bothers them. The person fucking blinks wrong. I hate the way you blink. The person coughs. I hate the way you cough. The person breathes. I hate the way you breathe. At that point, y'all don't love each other. At that point, you guys should just walk away, because that's a sign that you guys hate, you guys don't like each other at a fundamental level. But when you guys truly love each other, their flaws have a softness to them, a baby-like quality that you want to help and protect them, right? And so when they have their flaws, you don't try to change them, you just try to work around it. But when things really bother you, the problem is them. It's not the situation, when in reality, it is a situation. When something you don't like about them, it's not that they have to change. Y'all just have to find a way to work through it and talk through it. But if you're constantly defensive, constantly angry, constantly bothered, constantly triggered, well, then you're gonna trigger them, and it's gonna create a symbiotic relationship of toxicity. You get what I mean? So remember, nobody can teach you this. This is something that you have to find a reason to do this, because human nature is to be annoyed by everything, right? By you being unbothered, they react on your unbothered reaction to solve inevitable conflicts that will arise. Your unbotheredness raises your value, which means it makes them respect you more, which allows the love that you guys have for each other to stay longer for longer periods of time. It's a sign that you know what you want, right? You have standards. You're willing to walk away. It's a sign that you know that you can handle pain. It makes confronting you. Honestly, this is the best one. Like when I know I could talk to you about something without you going Bronx one and picking up a knife, it really makes things much easier. When you confront, you have a warm start, which makes me less defensive and increases the likelihood that you guys are going to solve the problem. And above all, it allows you to love and accept their flaws. Nothing's worse than people who are constantly trying to change you. You know what I mean? And the last one with the hell section is that they connect people who are toxic. When you're unbothered, it bothers them because they really can't connect with your silent presence. They want to connect with your trauma instead. So what they'll do is that they'll try to keep bringing up problems to see if they can find that weak spot. People like this, you got to leave them. They sense your unbotheredness and it makes them feel inferior. They don't like that. They don't like that they can't trigger you, right? Your lack of fear makes them feel inferior. What's really going on is that this person is just insecure, to be honest with you. And by you being unbothered, it compels them to make mistakes. It compels them to be needy. It compels them to do the things that they wanted you to do, right? You expose their weak mentality and it causes you to lose respect for them. And hopefully you can pull away from them. And above all, by you being unbothered, similar to the civil rights movement, it proves your point. Just your temperament, your relaxation shows that you were right all along, right? And now, if you guys want to learn more about this, you guys can check out my course, Emotional Mastery. It teaches you guys how to be unbothered. A lot of you guys go Bronx mode too early and too soon, all right? And if you guys want to learn more about this, you guys can also check out my new courses, The Feminine Woman. It's a course for women. It's a self-help course for women about how to develop their masculine side and their feminine side without becoming a Terminator. You guys can check out, I think it's for men, it's Dark Game. It's like a course for men, but it's not really dark, but I call it Dark Game. And you can check out all the other courses, Psychological Game of Attraction. It's a course that I made for women who are single and want to go from single to a relationship, and Natural Chemistry. It's a course that I made for women who are in relationships that want to strengthen their relationship, that want to gain respect from their man, that want to set more boundaries and strengthen the bond that they have with their guys. Like it's actually a course to just like Kaioken your relationship ×2, okay? So you guys can click on the description down below where it says work with Father Alex for a one-on-one confidential call, or you can check out the links where I have all of my other courses, okay? Anyways, take care, bye-bye.
Heal your energy from bitterness from men putting you in situationships and just attract emotionally available men. It comes with a 30-day money back guarantee and you can pre-order it right now and get it at a discount. This course is pretty much for women who are tired of situationships. If you keep meeting the wrong guys that always ghost or they're not ready to commit, or if you give too much too soon, or if you're exhausted from heartbreaks, or if you feel lonely because you keep holding your standards, sometimes you got to do it the right way, and most likely you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. And this course is all about not having any gimmicks. This course will naturally attract guys that want to commit. And if you guys don't believe me, check out the testimonies on this. Every one of my course has always led to satisfaction. Most people don't ask for refunds because of just how great the courses are. And with this course comes a few things. One, you'll learn why men are drawn to strengths, right? And why weakness repels them, and how to radiate the proper strength that gets a guy to take you seriously, right? You'll be able to, above all, to show confidence without trying. A lot of the times it's very difficult to show a guy that you're willing to walk away when you're not willing to walk away, right? And I'll show you all of the red flags, the wrong guys that always comes to you whenever you feel weak, how to identify the guys that want to take advantage of you. And above all, it will teach you guys just how to attract commitment. I guarantee that if you do what this course says, you will find someone who likes you for you, okay? And if you don't like it, you'll get your money back. So click on the description down below, right? Pre-order it right now and you'll get it straight to your inbox. It should be out by the end of January next year. Okay, so 2026, it should be out by that year. Okay. Anyways, I'll see you guys inside. Take care.